we did just get an in-depth case study of what this stuff is really looking like when an organization goes all in on AI really fast. We just got this in-depth profile from Fortune on a company called IgniteTech. And in 2023, Eric Vaughan, the CEO of the company, made one of the more radical bets out there on AI. He was convinced that generative AI back then was an existential shift. He told his global workforce that everything at the company would now revolve around it. Mondays became AI Mondays. He literally prohibited people from working on sales calls, budget meetings, anything that wasn't AI. The company poured 20% of payroll into retraining. And then he experienced all sorts of resistance. Some employees flat out refused to use AI, others quietly sabotaged projects. And the biggest pushback actually came from technical staff who doubted AI's usefulness. Fortune interviews him at various points, and he actually said sales and marketing, for instance, were very excited about what was possible. Now, where this led is that within a year of these overhauled initiatives, 80% of his company was gone because they would not adapt fast enough. And he replaced them with what he called AI innovation specialists. Now, in this scenario, this kind of gamble, this aggressive action paid off financially. They kept 9-figure revenues. They acquired another firm. They started launching AI products in days instead of months. And it kind of just highlighted how strange and messy and chaotic this can all get, because Vaughn, for his part, admits that his approach was pretty extreme, but says he would do it again. And he does caution at the end of the article. They ask him about laying off 80% of his staff because they wouldn't advance fast enough. And he said, I do not recommend that at all. That was not our goal. It was extremely difficult. So, Paul, I appreciated the candor and the detail in this story, but this sounds like a truly brutal process of change management. Like, what can we learn here, both about what to do and not to do?
Yeah, it is rare to see these kinds of very honest stories out in the open. I mean, it's the thing we get asked a lot, like where are the case studies? Who can we look at? And the reality is a lot of the companies that are doing it well aren't talking about it. And a lot of other companies are just struggling to do it and also don't want to admit how hard it is. So to see this level of transparency in terms of the early actions, what went well, what did not go well, I think these are the kinds of stories we just need more of so that people realize they're not in this alone. I think one of the often overlooked elements of AI adoption and successful AI adoption, getting to the point of return on investment, however you define it, is human friction. It can be over fear and anxiety. It can be the idea that they just think the AI is going to take their jobs. Why should they accelerate that? It can be like with any technology, someone who's maybe a director, a VP, a C-suite didn't get there using AI and it's not the familiar thing to them. It's a bit out of their league. And then to have the vulnerability as a leader to allow people who maybe are more native to this stuff to actually innovate with it and not feel threatened themselves, and to invest in reskilling themselves and being more prepared to be a leader in the AI age. That's all hard. Like changing humans is very difficult. And that was the thing he said is like, you can't compel people to change, especially if they don't believe. Like as a CEO, you have to have a vision for where the company is going. And you have to have a team of people who believe in that vision and work as a team toward that vision and remain very positive in the way. Like I say this often, Mike, you've heard me say it internally. I don't talk too much about my personal leadership style on the podcast or anything, but I hate negativity. Like it is a disease within companies, negativity. Like I love pushback. I love constructive criticism. I love challenging ideas. Like I want that, but I don't want problems presented without solutions, like preliminary ideas with solutions. And I don't want negative energy because as a CEO, when you're trying to do something extraordinary, when you're trying to like go into a market no one's gone into, and you're trying to build something no one else has been willing to build, the last thing you need is negativity around it. Like you have to maintain as a leader such a positive mindset, such an optimistic outset, that mindset that you can achieve anything, and anything that deters from that, it is disastrous to cultures, honestly. So this is how I look at stuff like this. Like if you're going to build an AI emergent company, which is what we're talking about here. So when we think about the future of all business, we always say AI native, build smarter from the ground up. AI emergent is you infuse AI into every aspect of the organization in a human centered way, and you evolve as a company or you become obsolete. To become AI emergent to a company that has people that don't want to be a part of it, they got to go. Like it is the hardest truth right now that, and I've seen this done well, and I've seen it communicated well within companies that we will invest in you. We will provide you education and training. We will give you access to these tools. You have to want it though. And
Mm.
if you don't take advantage of these things, you will not be part of this company anymore. And I've said before, I think we were talking about the AI CEO memos. I think you should say that point blank in every memo. Like I think CEOs should be honest straight up. We will provide the education and training. We will provide the tools. We will provide you the ability to innovate and experiment. If you choose not to do that, you will be working somewhere else. I truly believe that should be said by every CEO before the end of this year, because you cannot build a company full of people who aren't bought into this. So I don't know. Again, like I don't really comment on this one in particular too much, but I think overall it's a good example of the kind of conviction it's going to take to move existing legacy companies. You can't move them without a level of conviction and transparency about where you're going.
Yeah, and while this article or an example is pretty extreme, obviously because of the headline of, okay, 80% of the people were gotten rid of, it does kind of gloss over some of the more positive aspects. Like he said at one point, we're going to give a gift to each of you, and that gift is tremendous investment of time, tools, education projects to give you a new skill. Like, sure, it's scary this stuff is happening so quick, but that's an incredible opportunity if you're someone that leans into that.
Yeah, and I've sat in meetings where executives have told their teams like we don't know what like 18 to 24 months out looks like. We can't promise you there won't be an impact on staffing here. But what we can control is we're going to prepare you for the future of work. Hopefully it's here, but
Mm.
if it's not, you're going to be ready to create value in any company you work for. And I feel like that's the right mentality. I think honesty, no one can promise that. I trust me, like I am the biggest believer in a human centered approach to this of anyone. And I don't know, like 18, 24 months out, what it looks like. I don't think we would ever need to reduce staff. My goal is just keep growing, keep building the business, and keep meeting demand with more people. I want people in the company, but I have no idea what 24 months out looks like. But I can promise the team I will put everything into you. I will invest everything into you becoming, a next gen worker, being ready for this age of AI, tools, education, training, anything you need. We will have you ready. And if it's here, awesome. Then we will benefit from that and you will create value here. If it ends up not being here for whatever reason, then you will be ready to go create value somewhere else. And I think as a CEO, that's all you can promise right now is that have a vision and then like commit to your people to invest in.